I'm Jane Pauley. Please join us when our trumpet sounds again next Sunday morning.
I'm Margaret Brennan in Washington, and this week on Face the Nation, tensions build in the Caribbean. Plus, is there an end in sight to the government shutdown? As he pushes for peace in Ukraine and the Middle East, President Trump is leaning in the opposite direction on Venezuela, with U.S. forces killing 29 people accused of drug trafficking in 6 strikes on vessels since September. And the president offering a stark warning to Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro.
He's offered everything. You're right. You know why? Because he doesn't want to around with the United States.
Meanwhile, massive crowds of protesters took to the streets in dozens of cities, rallying against Trump's policies as the government shutdown drags on for a 3rd week. We'll get the latest from Democratic Senator Mark Kelly, plus Republican Senator Katie Britt, who helped the president unveil a new plan to expand access to fertility treatments. Then, as Trump's tariffs continue evolving, we'll get an update on the global economy from the president of the European Central Bank, Christine Lagarde. Finally, a conversation with 3 college professors on how the Trump administration's demands to align schools with its priorities could change their jobs, their institutions, and their students. It's all just ahead on Face the Nation. Good morning and welcome to Face the Nation. We have a lot to get to today, and we begin with Arizona Democratic Senator Mark Kelly, who's here in studio with us. Good morning to you, Senator.
Good morning.
A lot to get to. I want to start on what you are seeing as a member of Senate Armed Services and the Intelligence Committees. There are about 10,000 U.S. forces now that are built up in the Caribbean area, either on ships or in Puerto Rico. 3 B-52 bombers flew near Venezuela last week. There have now been 6 maritime strikes by U.S. Special Operations Forces. What is this adding up to? Is the Trump administration planning regime change in Venezuela?
Well, I hope not. Regime change hasn't ever really worked out well for us as a nation where we've supported that, whether it was in Vietnam, Cuba, Iraq, Afghanistan. It doesn't go the way we think, and it puts a tremendous number of Americans in harm's way, the U.S. military, the guys flying those missions now in B-52s close to the coast. Those folks are at risk. Members of the United States Navy now in this operation, which is clearly, traditionally, a law enforcement operation, now escalating to something maybe, as the president talks about, regime change. I think this is the wrong move for this president. The Coast Guard has the resources to do this.
To interdict
drugs. Mm-hmm. That's the way this has traditionally been done, and I do worry about the legal authorities or lack thereof that the United States military has to conduct these kind of strikes.
And you've been briefed on what legal authorities are being invoked. Do you think they are insufficient at this point? I mean,
they had a very hard time explaining to us the rationale, the legal rationale for doing this, and the constitutionality of doing it when you consider what, you know, the law of warfare, especially at sea, was a very convoluted argument. It also included, by the way, a secret list of over 20 narco organizations, drug trafficking cartels. They wouldn't share with us the list. So the brief we got was had a tremendous number of holes in it. And they had to go round and around to give us the legal rationale for doing this. And what I worry about, Margaret, are all these young military personnel that might find out, you know, months from now that what they did was illegal. And then you get to, what are we trying to accomplish here? We want to keep fentanyl out of the United States. And I don't know how widely known this is, but those routes